Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer. And today I've got a surreal and haunting horror flick lined up for us. It is Gary Sherman's 1981 classic, Dead and Buried. And guys, if you haven't seen this one, you're in for a real treat. Here is Dead and Buried. Dead and Buried is an exceptionally haunting horror film by director Gary Sherman. Bathed in mystery and drowning in overwhelming terror, this underrated gem casts its viewer into a world of eerie delights that contain a foreboding sense that simply encapsulates the production in horrific yet splendid tone. Totally strange and frighteningly violent, Dead and Buried is a mystifying movie that blankets its narrative in secrecy and sadistic overtones, producing a horror film that is truly original and especially spine-tingling. The film takes place in a sleepy coastal town of Potter's Bluff, where a string of murders have recently taken place involving mobs of morbid assailants. Entirely mysterious and ultimately disturbing, Sheriff Dan Gillis investigates into the brutal killings, only to find that there is more to this mystery than meets the eye. And as Sheriff Gillis nears closer to the answers, he comes to find that his life may be the next to be extinguished, and then unexpectedly reanimated. Welcome to the trippy, obscure town of Potter's Bluff. James Ferrantino takes on the role of Dan Gillis, the overwhelmed sheriff of Potter's Bluff, who finds that his quiet town is now a breeding ground for murder, mystery, and malevolent mayhem. Approaching the character as an everyman, Ferrantino does an outstanding job in grounding the character and giving him a tremendous sympathetic tone. Surrounded by death and secrecy, Ferrantino's character must overcome the insurmountable odds stacked against him, and in this process he creates a cinematic role that is ridiculously fun to cheer for and wholeheartedly entertaining. As the driving force of the picture, James Ferrantino does a fantastic job, and his contributions to the film help push along the mystery into uncharted and unfathomable territories. The rest of the cast help to fill out this odd movie world of Dead and Buried, giving the production an unusual feel and otherworldly quality that just screams surreal. The standouts are Melody Anderson as Janet Gillis, wife to Sheriff Gillis, Jack Albertson as William G. Dobbs, the curious mortician, Lisa Blount as the disturbingly sexy nurse Lisa, and Robert Englund as local weirdo Harry. Each of these actors bring a sense of weird to the proceedings, all injecting a sense of macabre wonder that fully generates an overpowering atmosphere for the flick. That brings me to the most powerful aspect of the movie, and that is its overwhelming presence and intensely mysterious overtones. Covered in an atmospheric haze that cultivates tremendous terror and dread, Dead and Buried absolutely thrives in this off-kilter presentation and succinct representation of haunting wonders. Like a masked tomb, the town of Potter's Bluff is a splendidly foreboding place, mirroring a fog-covered graveyard in all its visual sense. Dreadfully dire and painstakingly depressing, the setting of Potter's Bluff is a horror buff cinematic wet dream, and when added with the over-the-top violence and cruelty of the picture, you've got yourself a perfect combination that aims to please. Expressively mean-spirited and wholeheartedly unbound in its gory moments, this is one production that brings the pain and in frequent abundance. Dead and Buried is a masterfully crafted cinematic effort in which atmosphere is the name of the game. Severely incessant in its depressing imagery and highly unapologetic in its portrayal of ravenous violence, the film prospers in its dreamlike and nightmarish setting. If you enjoy film worlds that truly transport you to another realm, then Dead and Buried has got what you're looking for. It's chilling, relentlessly mysterious, and rather surprising in its cruelty, and really what more could you ask for in a horror film? Dead and Buried is an underrated and atmospheric masterpiece. And guys, that is the sadly underrated Dead and Buried. Just a great zombie twisted film, and just one you should really check out if you haven't seen it yet. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that review, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any time, because I'd love to hear from you. But guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you at the next movie review. Take care.